I don't really know what Northern Ireland was like when I was born because I was too small, just like you are when we were making this film. I was born in 1956 and I'm from Ballymoney.
I was born in 1973. I'm from Athens, Greece.
I was born on the 22nd of August 1954, and this is where I was born.
I was born 6th of January 1974 in Benguela, Angola.
I was born in 1963, just a few miles from Belfast.
I was born in 1978 and I'm from Latvia.
I came to Belfast in 2014.
I came to Belfast in September 2014.
I came to Northern Ireland in 2010.
I was born in 1975, and yes, I'm working as an engineer here in Ireland, in Belfast.
I'm not sure, Lia, if you're going to grow up in Italy or in the north of Ireland, but we have had a war situation here since about 1968, and I would have been 5 or 6 years old at that time.
I wasn't really aware of all the nastiness that was going on. I lived in this bubble in Carrickfergus with an amazing family, so my life growing up was a bit shielded from what was happening.
You know, people were firing shots, houses were being burnt. It was a very, very, very scary time. I think a lot of people try and say that that was the beginning of what's known as the Troubles.
As a teenager, things had kicked off here quite badly, sectarian-wise, and communities were becoming divided. It was like that. I left Ireland when I was 18 years old to get away from it.
I find it so bizarre. Half of the population claim that they're Irish and other that they're British.
The north of Ireland is in like a transition period, trying to move from the war years through into peace years. We still have a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of underlying issues that need to be ironed out here that I think even when you're 18 you will know a little bit about them.
I don't love the fact that there is so much hatred within our history and that has been handed down to generation and generation, and the generations below me and the generations probably just your generation or just above you are still finding this real difficulty because of the trauma that we have inherited from our past.
We need one more generation of Northern Irish youth, young people, that they will travel, expand their horizons. People are still suspicious.
Demons, us and demons.
No matter what the subject is, even stuff that's not controversial, they're always fighting.
The politics is the only thing, and is destroying the beauty of what Northern Ireland has got to give. That is the people, the kindness, the love.
My first job was in a call center, and I really enjoy the fact that young people, Protestants and Catholics, they were working together and they were make jokes about their roots to each other, but it was only jokes. I found it that fascinating. That means that the stereotypes start to break.
I came out as a gay man at the age of 16, and I suppose that's where I really see the big change. Because I was never really involved in the political stuff, that didn't really matter to me. But, you know, the personal stuff for me was I came out at 16 into a Northern Ireland that was quite a scary place at that time for people like me. We weren't really talked about. We were kind of pushed to the side. We were known as a bit disgusting, creepy, seedy. And I felt that everything about me was wrong.
I'm also a disabled performance artist. So in Greece, they're still in middle ages regarding the disabled people rights. And I can say that I was empowered in Northern Ireland because the companies here treated me with respect.
Cut to 2022, gay people are allowed to get married now. Conversion therapy is off the cards. It is illegal in Northern Ireland. And boys and girls can walk down the streets holding hands with their respected partners.
I never had no difficulties to be integrated, and I put myself out there. I had to go and learn about the culture learn about history. So I think I've been one of the few lucky ones that was accepted.
Maybe it's just a personal experience. But I try to make Northern Irish friends, but they just don't respond. I don't know. Maybe they feel that I feel that they're very polite. They want to help you, but they still feel that you are the other with O capital.
We're actually living in a post-conflict society, so I can't be too hard on the people for the way they are. But for people who have already made peace with themselves and want to make progress, because this has been holding back progress here.
The people are fabulous. They're salt of the earth. They're strong. They've been through hard times.
You know, everybody says good morning, good afternoon. Everybody knows everybody. Sometimes it's bad, but, you know, in a good way.
I love the women of Belfast. The women of Belfast are hardcore.
Do you know, Lia, whenever the pandemic was announced back in March of 2020, I thought it was just going to be around for a few months. You know, summertime it would be all over. And then a year went by, and then another year went by.
It was horrendous. I'm a super extrovert. I know half of Belfast, and I have become a fake introvert.
We survived, but yes, it's a trauma.
I super enjoyed it because I don't like crowded places. I don't like when there's too many people.
Everybody got a chance, including me, to just take a step back and look at their life and look at how we're treating the planet.
I was going to the supermarket and I was talking to the cans and vegetables. Imagine how frustrated I was.
I painted my backyard with a 2-inch brush, brick by brick, for about 3 weeks, and I did 4 layers of paint on it, and I just stood there listening to music, and I would have put the Dalai Lama to shame.
The main thing was to wear a mask, you know, protect other people from you. So you do the right things. I got vaccinated, you know. I believe that was the right thing as well, to protect, you know, other people from me.
Around my circle, I did have a few friends that end up going to all these theories.
I don't know why they're doing such a big fuss. When you're young, you have like a million jobs. When you go to third countries like Africa, you have your jabs for malaria. I don't know why is that the fuss.
There is a lot of people that live in denial. I don't know if it's part of the mental cycle that helps you protecting you from believing that something is real.
I couldn't figure out how it was so easy for people to buy all the narrative that we know, without any kind of critical thinking. We're not talking about denying. We're talking about, you know, just discussing or thinking. Or
I'd like to think that what we've learned is question authority. Don't trust everything the government, the scientists, the medical experts say, because I'm not a sceptical person about the pandemic. It was definitely there. I'm not what people call an anti-vaxxer, but I think that what the pandemic did was it exposed the haves and have-nots. It exposed the inequality around the world.
I was surprised about the behavior of some people. Classic example could be even my father, that I can see in general a kind of people being hypnotized. And I couldn't really see a lot of times, I couldn't really understand a lot of times, even today, honestly, because in Italy the thing is still ongoing. What's going on basically in the mind, I don't know how to say it, in the thinking of people.
I think we've learned to love each other more, have the time for each other more often, listen to each other.
Personally, I think I learned not to take for granted some freedoms, basic freedoms that we have. And these freedoms can be very quickly taken away, and in a way even like kind of supported by us.
Lia has been affected too, because mommy and daddy didn't have the support from us, friends and the family and the network around, in, you know, making sure she was okay and mummy was okay, you know, the babysitting and looking after. So Lia's generation will be affected by this pandemic also.
I don't know what I would say to you from me in the past to you in the future. It seems a bit spooky to me.
Lia, as an older woman, my advice to you would be dress for yourself. Lia, always be comfortable. Don't compete with anyone. Don't compete with women and don't compete with men. You can do something that no man can do, and that's grow another human being inside your body. I mean, what's there to say about that? That's just spectacular in itself.
She's half Italian, I would say, even though she's from Belfast. She's gonna be, I would say, Irish. I would like her to listen, one of the songs that made my 18 years old, which is, and Federica would know, I guess, Litfiba, Ragazzo. Ragazzo means boy. And I would just wonder, some feedback from her.
They say that in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, and in the expert's mind, there are a few. I would definitely say, become a beginner and enjoy every single day.
Travel, 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 read, 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 and also change country, even with the Erasmus. Sorry, Northern Ireland, I don't think you have it anymore because of Brexit.
I'm going to give you 2 books that I would advise. First one, Herman Hesse. You might read it as an older person, but it's fabulous. It's more interesting than it sounds because it's called If the War Goes On. And Caitlin Moran's How to Be a Woman is funny and it's correct.
It's your life. It's you that's gonna live. And it's okay to get advice, but always be truthful to yourself.
And don't fall in love with someone who needs to be fixed. Also, don't fall in love with someone who thinks that you need fixed. Don't let someone whisper in your ear that you're not quite good enough or you don't quite look right. You're okay the way you are.
Yeah, this is what I want to say. If you find there's something that you disagree with, you should be prepared to look at that thing really, really hard to see if you really disagree with it, and even to see what from the other side of what you disagree with. In other words, I'm saying is you need to work really hard at things that you think are wrong, just to make sure that you're right, because the essence of this is that anybody could be wrong about anything, and that's no big deal.
My advice from the past is love your life, be class, do what you love to do, don't start smoking.
Don't take up smoking. It's a nightmare. I do it.
Love your parents. I've learned about my parents that they don't have to understand me. They will just have to love me. That's it.
Lia, my door is always open. Whenever you fall out with mommy and daddy, Auntie Mimi is there for you. Love you.
To love the one you're with, that's the most important thing.